Hey everyone, the Motivational Professor here. And if you look over my shoulder, we are going to be talking about two charts on this analysis at the request of some of our diamond members in our private membership area. So if I go right into the chart on the left, we are going to break down crude oil. We gave you this on Sunday. We talked about price needing to go above this zone to change the trend, and we have been trending down. So congratulations to all of the members who have made money selling crude oil. And then over here on the right, we are going to be looking at the NASDAQ. If you can see here, we are hitting a level of support. So let's see what the NASDAQ is going to do here. I might think about possibly buying from somewhere down in this area. So that's exactly what we want to cover on today's session. So again, I will timestamp both crude oil and the NASDAQ down below in the description. In case you don't care for one or the other, you can just move directly to that section. And again, if you have not joined our private YouTube membership area, for the price of a cup of coffee a month, I want to make this accessible to everyone in the world, but yet to hold you accountable. Jump in there, $4.99 a month to join our private mentoring group. You're going to get a private telegram as well. And again, I'm not going to be bombarding you with trade ideas, but you're going to get definitely your share of trade ideas during the week when it's a good setup so you can scalp 10, 15, 20 pips at a time and possibly end up with hundreds of pips by the end of the week. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the analysis. Okay, so first we are going to start with crude oil. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to mark up these zones real quick because I want to be able to give you some intermediate zones. And that's where we are at right now with crude oil. Let's go ahead and mark this intermediate zone right in here because of what we see there. And again, we can adjust these as we go forward. And I'll even mark one more to the bottom in case we do break down below so we can kind of take our positions, okay? And again, there's going to be some intermediate zone in here as well. And I'll mark this one with a horizontal at places where you might see some type of support and resistance aside from these big zones that we have here. So again, we talked about this on the Sunday video. So make sure that you always check out my Sunday analysis. I do a very, very in-depth crude oil analysis. We talked about just oil was probably going to come down to this first level, which we hit, and then it continued down to the second level, right? Whether you thought it was going to get that low or not, some of the folks in my YouTube membership area are saying they're hearing this and they're hearing that. And again, you know, at the end of the day, one of the things that I'm training them to do is to stop with the speculation, right? They see a Twitter tweet or they read a report and they think they begin to change your mindset, right? So I want to keep trading simple. That's what I do now. You know, I only focus on the news when there's major US news that may impact an active trade that I'm in to make sure that I have my alerts and what have you. But if you try to focus too much on the outside noise, right? You're going to hear 10,000 reports. OPEC this, OPEC that, cuts. Just trade what you see. And that's what we do in this group. We train you to trade what you see, whether it's a buy or a sell, and kind of cut out the noise. So let's kind of get back into the actual chart here. And so we can kind of see here that we went kind of back down to this area right in here. If we take a Fibonacci retracement from here and we swing it up to the top of that wick, which let me just so you can see in case you're brand new, right? We're going to cap it from here. From this wick is where we started going up to where we began to reverse, which was this wick, and then now to where we are now. You can see that we hit that 88 percentile. Okay, here's the 61, here's the 50, here's the 38. So again, wick low to high here to the highest wick where price began to reverse. And then you can see here that our Fibonacci levels also serve as good areas of support and resistance as well, if you mark them up right. Okay. And so you can see that's kind of where an area that we are now. We're in this crossroad uh, right in here. So, as we begin to expand on crude oil, we want to see what could happen, right? Sometimes we see the Fibonacci retracement come all the way down to the 127, right? I don't know if we're going to necessarily get there today. No. Tomorrow, maybe, right? We're going to trade what we see. So right now, what we're focusing on is this level right here. There's only going to be two options. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to the 15-minute chart because I want you to see this a little bit tighter, right? This is going to be our level that we're in right here, but also keep in mind that we do have a level of this Fibonacci level. We can see it here. And if we go to the left, we can see the bounce here. Okay, so again, this is why I like taking profits 20 to 30 cents because you're about to hit a resistance or a support with crude oil. You can grab some profits and go. So we need to see what's going to happen here. So this is going to be one of the scenarios for crude oil. Okay, it is now 3:42 Eastern Standard Time. So the market still has another hour and 15 minutes to go before it takes its 5 to 6 o'clock break. We may or may not see too much movement. Okay, so let me start with the down scenario. If you see by the time you watch this video that crude oil has come down into this 80 to 80-20 area, okay, I believe here we're going to get, if we come down anywhere in here, and again, you got to decide what your risk is, when you want to get in, what you're willing to hold, but anywhere down here below this low. So if we grab a trend line, right, if we close below this section right here, down in here, I think we're going to see a bounce back up to where you can get. And again, if you've been watching my videos for a while, we talk about 20 to 30 cents or ticks, right? Depending on what you're trading, what platform, and what have you. That's our goal for every trade. You want to hold it longer, you can. This is the way I trade. I scalp it 4 or 5 times a day. I make my 100 points for the day, and I'm done trading. Right, I'm done trading. So again, I don't get greedy. I don't try to hit the home run. I take what the market gives me. Sometimes if I'm up 6 or 7 points and I say, I don't like what I'm seeing, I just close out my trading profit and I wait for a better place to get in. Patience is the key to trading. Again, let me kind of say that. Patience is the key to trading. If you expect to be doing this part-time or full-time, 4, 5, 6, like me now, 7 years later, you've got to be patient. Was I always patient at the beginning? Absolutely not. And that's why I didn't do so well my first few years, because I would be patient, then I would get greedy, then I would become less patient. And so it was a spiral, right? And so once you learn that this right here is your biggest weapon in trading, you will be fine. Hitting buy or sell becomes easy. It's knowing when to get in and knowing when to get out and knowing when to tell your brain, hey, you know what? I've made 7 pips. It's not looking right. Let me get out and profit. Because if you build profit consistently over a long period of time, your account grows, right? The people that get discouraged in trading are those that lose 4 or 5 trades. Then they say, I'm going to do one more. And they go all in. And then they lose it. And then they're disgusted. They blew their account and they don't want to do this anymore, right? The blessing was going to happen in trade 8, 9, and 10. But because you over leveraged, but because you gave up, you did not see the blessing down the road. So again, just keep that in mind as you move forward. So again, if this is kind of what we're seeing right now, okay? Now, the opposite to this is going to be this zone right here. I'm going to move this up, okay? If we can get a candle to close, and again, remember I just said the key word, candle to close up here, right? And I'm going to make it green because that means we would be buying here, right? Then we can expect price to go to our next level, which is up here. Okay. And again, that's a good 30 cents. Perfect. Exactly what we're looking for, right? So whether you want to trade 81.01 or O2 or O3, I would wait till we clear these equal highs. You see these equal highs right here? This is a good thing right here that we're seeing, these equal highs. If we can get a candle to either go bullish straight, like I would have a buy stop right here. So this is a good area to have a buy stop right here, which would be 81.11. So buy stop at 81.11. Okay. Profit level 81.30. That's going to give you about those 20 ticks, right? So if you want to do a buy stop right here, and what I'm telling you here to happen is that price goes up, picks up your trade, and closes you out right here at 30, right before the Fibonacci level. Okay, so that's a possible trade for you right there. And let me get back in here. Profit. Okay, so that is this impulsive buy that may or may not happen, right? I'm not going to do an impulsive sell down here, but you should be looking at a sell. Let me just type this down, right? You should be looking at at a buy limit somewhere around here, right? Depending on what you see, some people like to get in early, but somewhere around here, you want to look for that buy limit earlier. Now, how do we, and let me go ahead and move this up. How do we invalidate this buy limit? Okay, a buy limit means price comes up, triggers it, and then goes up, right? If you see that this market just tanks and it comes like this all the way down here, right? At that point, you can still keep your buy limit, but I would not, because you have this area of resistance, right? Your buy limit would be somewhere up in here. So if you see a big impulsive candle like this, and let's go ahead and make this red, right? Market just tanks, right? A full dollar down, some news comes out, something crazy, right? That's where you say, okay, you can still keep this buy limit here for when price turns around, but now you are looking at this next level. Now you're looking for price to come down here, bounce, and then go to the next level, right? Everything is about steps, okay? If you do get the buy limit, then eventually what's going to happen is price, let's say oil changes, right? And oil decides to come back up. Then what happens is on the way up, it triggers this buy limit, which would have to be over this orange line, and then it goes to the next level, which is going to be 80.72. So you can set buy limits and stop limits and everything, sell limits along the way for 20 cents, and you can see that you'll be very profitable. But again, you always want to go away from these wicks, and you want to go above things like this, these wicks, because price came here, stopped, and turned around. So you always want to make sure that your buying price is above this area, okay? Because then that usually means we're going to go up to the next level. Okay. And I hope that makes sense. So what I want you to do, and you can help me out as well, if you understand, buy limits, buy stops, sell limits and sell stops, go down to the comments now and say, yes, I understand. If you don't understand what buy stops are, buy limits are, go down to the comments and type, I don't understand. If I get enough people that say, I don't understand what you mean, I'm going to do another video and I will only focus in on showing you nothing but buy stops, buy limits, and sell stops. Okay, so go down to the comments and type, yes, I understand what these are, or no, I do not. And then that way, if I get enough people, I will create another video for just that. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at crude oil. We're in standby. I've given you a buy stop here at 81.11 to 81.30, and then I've given you a buy limit here in this area, and then back in this area as well down in here. Again, the only way that we kind of put this on hold for now is if we see a big impulsive candle like this. This would be coming down a full dollar or so. Then of course, then we're looking at this next area, right? Price can only go up or down, right? It could obviously consolidate for a while, and we may bounce on these levels like we did here, right? Up, maybe down, right? I would love for it to come back down again so I can buy here and then go back up and then hopefully higher, right? Depending on what's happening with the market. But let's trade what we see, of course. So if you got any questions on crude oil, you can definitely drop them below. So what I want to do now is I'm going to be jumping over into the NASDAQ chart. This is like a little bonus information here. One of our YouTube Diamond members asked if I can do a NASDAQ analysis. So I'm going to put it out for everyone to see. And again, this is what I'll be doing inside of our private membership. If there's a particular pair that maybe I don't trade, for example, because I'm very limited, I only do 2 to 3 pairs and I focus in on those 2 or 3. So if there's something that you want done, I will do an analysis. I'm giving all of that for less than $5 a month in my membership, because again, I want to be able to have everyone, regardless of your economic status, right? There's tons of channels charging hundreds of dollars in courses. I don't believe in that. I believe that I'm kind of like a trader for the people, right? I want to be able to give you value. Now, I won't be spending all day typing you and because I need my breaks as well. But you're going to hear from me every day, right? I'm going to, and those people in the group can already testify to that. I'll be giving you value each day, right? Whether it's a video, whether it's, hey, look at this area for a buy or sell, you're going to get that value inside of our group. We just created some private chats as well through a third-party platform. You will get access to all that inside of our members area. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and jump into the NASDAQ. And so let me bring that up right here because we were talking about this area that we were at. Let me close this up. Let's go back here. I want to go to the 8-hour chart. Okay. Hopefully we're beginning to get a little bit of that resistance. I'm sorry, that support that we talked about. So this is kind of a crucial area right here on the NASDAQ. I'm on an 8-hour chart, folks, right now. 8-hour chart. Okay. And the reason why I purposely put this 8-hour chart is because I wanted to look at the Fibonacci level on this 8-hour chart. So I'm going to grab a fib level and I'm going to go from this point, the low, to this high, and I'm going to go here. And you can see we've bounced so far off the 88, right? Because again, we still have another hour for this market to close. But again, I'm kind of liking what's happening right now on that fib level on the 8-hour mark, right? You can see it right here where we've wicked perfectly off that 88%. Right, we kind of blew through the 61.8 and the 78.6, and we're at this level right now, right? We could come down and take out these lows down here, and then the bottom of this channel that I've marked up, 14,894, that would be our next major buying area. But I'm going to be breaking this down a little bit more here, right? So this is kind of what we see. Let's kind of break it down on the 1-hour chart. Again, you should be doing multi-time frame analysis, okay? So we can kind of see where we are at right now. I don't see any real even lows right in here. Doesn't mean that we're not going to target. So we may, again, we're going to trade what we see. You know, we may come down to take out these lows right in here, right? Bring price down to this 127 area or 100 area, somewhere in here, and then begin to climb back up with the NASDAQ. We are going to climb on the NASDAQ. Okay. So let me kind of, let me say that again, right? There's all people yesterday were tweeting about this guy. I don't even know his name, that he has so many puts on the NASDAQ and the S&P. Hey, that's great. A lot of money being moved, right? More money than we can think of that's being moved. But guess what? We as retail traders can still come in this market and grab our 10 to 20 cents, ticks, points, whatever you want to call them, pips, each and every day. If we can do that multiple times a day, we are sitting nicely. Because if you start trading 10 cents a pip and you make a couple bucks a day, that's the way I started, right? And as your account grows, as your experience grows, as your trading grows, 10 cents a pip, 30 cents a pip, $1 a pip, $5 a pip, $10 a pip, $100 a pip. Do not be embarrassed or ashamed because you're trading a 0.01 10-cent lot size. That's the way I started for a long time as I were learning this. This is not easy. Anyone who tells you that trading is easy is lying to you. This takes time. This takes mentorship. This takes practice. So again, you can always go back to a demo account to practice some of these different techniques that you're using. And as you can see, I don't use really indicators. The only indicator I'll put on there will be the 50-day moving average to give me perspective, but I don't use indicators, volume. I'm a straight support and resistance person. I've been doing it for a while, and my style of trading, which is another point, you have to know your your style of trading, and we're going to be going back to the charts in a minute, is I'm a scalper. My psychology is not wired to hold trades for 4 or 5 days. My psychology is to come in here and grab a little bit from the market each day and enjoy the rest of my day. And I'm very rarely here in my desktop setup, recording videos, doing this kind of stuff. I'm always on my mobile phone. I have my alerts and I just trade off my alerts. And I'm going to be doing some trainings on that in the members area as well coming up. So again, you can definitely, jump in this NASDAQ as we look here. So anywhere in here, right, the lower the better for a buying opportunity in the NASDAQ, depending on your, risk, right? If you get in early, then you understand you may have to swing this if you are going to buy. This is only if you're going to buy. I am not looking to sell the NASDAQ. right now I am not looking to sell the NASDAQ. And people may say, well, but that's you're going against the trend. Well, that's okay. That's okay right now because I'm going to line up my Fibonacci's and I'm going to line up for what my zones to make sure that I'm in a good position when I'm going to buy. Now, am I going to buy here? Absolutely not. So what I'm going to do is as we begin to wrap this up, is I'm going to go to the 15-minute chart, right? The ideal buy is going to be here. If you want to be conservative, this is where you are looking to buy. Okay. When we break this right here, and I have no idea why I grabbed that little one there because right? This is the ideal place that this changes the tide of the NASDAQ for right now. Okay. Right here. Once we get a candle to come all the way up here, if you want to be super conservative, this is for the conservative traders. Okay. This is for the conservative traders. Then you wait till you close up here, right? And then if price comes up to this area, you're looking for something like this. You're looking for price to come up. You're then looking for price to come down, right? To retest that area and then go to our next Fibonacci level, which is here. And then you would do the exact same thing up here. This is all these areas that I'm marking are areas that you should have alerts, okay? In this area right in here. So again, this is the area that you should be focusing on. And then if we break that, we're doing the exact same thing here. We're going here, right? Then we're looking to go higher here. And then we're looking to go a retest here. So we're just going to walk it up. But again, this is the safer buy, okay? This is a safer buy because we could see price coming up here, rejecting again, and then coming down, okay? But if you're a seller, this is where you would sell in this area. And then you take, you set your trade with a very tight stop loss and you sell here. Again, I'm not looking to sell. I'm looking for buying opportunities on the NASDAQ, okay? And sometimes I get in very aggressive, like down in these areas. And something like the NASDAQ, I'll hold 2 or 3 days if I need to get my profit levels. But again, because of the way that I do it, because I'm looking for 20, 30 points, that usually comes pretty easy on the US 30 and the NASDAQ because that moves very quickly, right? So as long as you get in, for example, on a solid 5-minute candle, something like this, you can definitely, scalp the market once you see price action. So if you get a 5-minute candle to close up here, right, then guess what? You're going to get your 20, 30 points easy. Like right there is 75 points. That candle 75 points. So if I only need half of that, I'm good to go. Okay, I'm good to go. So these are the areas, if I were you, that you may want to look and mark down. Again, if we go down below here, I don't see it happening. Then we can come all the way as low as 14,400, 14,500 every 100. But for now, I'm going to work within this parameter on crude oil, and I'm just going to wait to see what happens, right? Kind of give you a couple scenarios, right? If we come lower down here, I'm buying. And if we break this level, this 61.8, if we break 15,100, I'm going to scalp it up to 1,500, 125 for 25 quick ticks right in here. Okay. So I'm going to probably have a buy stop somewhere right in here. Okay. Probably about 1510 or so. Okay. Depending on what happens. But again, price action right now is kind of in this area right in here. I don't know what's going to happen in this channel. So I'm not buying or selling. I'm just going to be patient. And when this video is over, I'm going to set my alerts down here and up here and then be good with it. Okay. So I'm hoping that on today's analysis, you got extra value, both crude oil and the NASDAQ. That's kind of my bonus analysis for you today. Definitely, you can help me out, whether you're subscribed or not, by hitting the like button. That way, more people can see this video. And if you're not subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe. Check it out. There's no hype. There's no fluff. There's no Lamborghinis, and there's no 5-story homes with elevator. Just a real guy making real money in the market, helping real people every day, just trying to get better each and every day. All right. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.